The 50-year-old Margalit is a newcomer to local party politics and perhaps best known when he made history in the year 2000 by orchestrating the largest corporate deal in Israel's history by selling his Chromatis company for nearly $5 billion. Since that time, Margalit has devoted his efforts to working with disadvantaged youth here in the capital, as well as his Jerusalem Venture Partners firm that backs startup businesses here in the capital. Leah Zinder recently met with Margalit in his Jerusalem office and asked why he entered an election race in a political party that has more candidates for leadership than, according to some polls, seats that it can possibly hope to win in the next Knesset.
You have to remember that the Labor Party had great leaders. Ben-Gurion, Golda, Rabin. The Labor Party built the country and had most of the vision for leading it.
Okay, we'll come to Ben-Gurion in a minute because I see that portrait of him behind you. But let me first ask you this. You're a high-tech billionaire. You're named by Forbes as the world's leading non-American venture capitalist. You are called Israel's top venture capitalist. You're obviously really good at what you do. Why give it all up for politics?
Well, the thing is that many of us feel that building the startup nation was a good first stage, but now the leadership of the country makes it a stagnant nation. And we feel like, just like in business, Israel had a new generation about 17, 15 years ago that came and made it an international player. Maybe it's time that that leadership would come on to the national stage. The stakes are high. Israel needs to redefine its direction, its goal, and Israel's been reactive under the current right-wing leadership rather than proactive. And some of us feel that this needs to change.
And if you are elected chairman of Labour, would you recommend joining the Netanyahu-led government?
No, I don't think so. I think that Israel needs an alternative. The right-wing government is problematic in a variety of ways. One, regardless of what agreement you are sketching, Netanyahu doesn't act like he's leading towards an agreement. It acts like he's giving the world a few phrases to keep out of trouble. And we, the people in Israel, feel that. And I think that some of the countries around us feel that as well. And so first, we want to lead towards an agreement. The other thing is the economic and social situation in Israel. I think that there needs to be a different kind of growth in Israel. It needs to include Jerusalem. It needs to include the Galilee. It needs to include the Negev. It needs to include other parts of the population. And I think that that's what the Labor Party, who's built this country with a variety of social and economic vision, needs to bring together.
That's what I want to talk to you about. You mentioned the Labour Party, and we've mentioned Ben-Gurion, its founder. Now, you were born on a kibbutz. You're a kibbutznik. Your parents were among the founders of this country. And yet here you are today, a high-tech billionaire. Isn't that, in a way, what's happened to the Labour Party? Hasn't the Labour Party left its old socialist ideals behind? And if so, what's left?
I think the Labor Party needs to redefine what a pioneer is. A pioneer in the 20s of the 20th century was someone who built a kibbutz or a moshav or built the first city, real Israeli city, Tel Aviv, and that was great. But you know, the world has moved forward. High tech and profit is legitimate. Israel took the energy that it put into settling the country into building new companies and new ideas that are changing the world. I think that's part of the legacy that the Labor Party should embrace. Just like I think that the social entrepreneurs that are coming into poor neighborhoods and are changing the fabric of the neighborhood and helping the kids get to the next level are also pioneers. So what I'm looking for is a new vision that would combine both social sensitivity, but also economic growth that would be relevant for this world of globalization, which Israel is really playing a major part of.